the letter B in my series on making the alphabet. It's just loud. Gotta turn it down anyways because this is leaded glass. I'm not wasting my good glass on doing these demos. I got my marks. I like to do the bottom arc first. And the way I determine how much glass to heat up is I use my hose and I drew lines on the pattern at the stopping points of the arc. And then I measured with my hose. And I always like to heat up about a 1/2 inch on either side of the line. When you're doing arcs, sometimes it's good to get the center a little more. You just move the glass like that. When it's ready to bend, block. Next bend's a double back. See how I threw my pattern around? So I have my glass marked. And I turn my pattern around so when I do this bend I can lay it right on the pattern. There's a way to stand comfortable when you're heating the glass up, and then when it's time to do the bend, stand the way you need to do the bend for the last couple of turns. And then it won't be so strenuous trying to heat up the glass the way you think you're going to have to bend. Heat that glass up any way you can heat it up. Then right before you go to do the bend, change up so you can, that ain't too good, is it? Talking and gawking. That's how you fix a bend. Next bend is a drop. I don't even remember what I was talking about. I screwed that bend up. There's 2 ways to do this next part. You can either bend this whole arc or drop it down and then bend it. So I'll start to heat this up right here. Pretty cool how you fix a bend, huh? You got to think about that stuff like immediately. Immediately. You don't like something, go right back in the fire. You can't hesitate. I looked at it and I was like, oh. That's way too hot. Look what it does when it's hot. Look at that. Ouch. So, you just turn your flame down. Usually I know it's about a 1/2 turn, but I think I had it turned up a little too high to begin with. Then you just go back in. Look at this. It goes away. Once you get the flame right, that's how you know you got the flame right. Because you should be able to just heat it up. All right, now we drop it. Blow. Now, kind of looking at the end of the bend or the center. So I'm going to heat up there to there, and then that's about. You could do it with the hose, and if you're new at it, you might want to, but I've been doing this for so long. So now that center mark, I like to get a little hotter. Rotate the glass. It totally makes a difference when you're doing art. Just remember, you're the one in control. Once you figure out how to work with this glass when it's hot, you can do lots of things with it. So once it's ready, I'm pushing in as I'm bending it. So you can always pull it back out. Did I just say that? In and out? Valentine's Day's around the corner. Now, my next bend will be this bend. I marked for this bend, double back. Then I marked for my 90. Because I like to do this bend, and then it's still hot. So I'll quickly do this bend, and then I could do the other double back, and you don't have to worry about anything cracking. So I got my pattern facing that way, because when I do this double back, it's just gonna, as I bend it, I can lay this right on the pattern. My noodle shirt was a gift I got for my birthday, which is in a video game. My noodles is in a video game, so my wife bought me this shirt, Destiny 2. Yep. The dragon and the noodles. Oh my handy crafty bending. Alright, when this is ready, you notice how it's waving over top of the fire, so it's keeping everything else hot. The middle bend, warming up my 90 that I'm about to make. Stuff stays flexible for about 10 to 12 seconds. It's still really hot. So now I'm going to turn the pattern again. You know, everybody bends different. I'm not really telling you this is the way to do it. This is the way I do it, and it works. See how I'm waving this over the fire? It's keeping everything hot. So once this starts to move, switch over here. I'm holding it above the fire. All that heat's raising up and keeping everything hot. Now, final bend, right next to this bend. Freaking blow hose. This video is brought to you by me. Once it starts moving, You can either try to do the whole bend. I'll do the whole bend in here. The heck, why not? Staying on the edge. Live on the edge. Alright, it's ready. I can bend this mother. Bend it. And there is how I make a letter B. Hand drawn in reverse. And then I made it. Stay tuned tomorrow or the next day. Probably every couple of days. What the heck? I'm always here, so. The letter C is next.